Ah,
Marla had a thong on her head.
Good evening. I won't be with you long, but I'd like to just say hi. It's 1 a.m. here.
Oh, you're such a love to
1 a.m.
because
You
you're
have to have read my last story to get that one.
I totally got it.
I got it.
Marla, you're such a trooper. I'm so excited that you showed up with your thong on your head.
I have a question,
I can't
Marla.
breathe. I have to take it off.
Marla, what was your grandson wearing in that picture? Like, what was that? A cup?
A thong.
Your grandson was wearing?
The photo of the grandson.
I'm going to try dialing in because I keep getting cut off.
Yeah, you're in London. You're in London, yeah, Marla? She's in the UK.
Ah, I hear her. And now
Okay,
I
can
see
hear
her.
you now. Who's here? Is Marilyn here?
Marilyn is not here yet.
Uh,
We've got myself in New York, Poughkeepsie, New York.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh,
Famous.
You Ginger.
Lori and Andy, where are you guys from?
I live in Alabama.
Oh, cutie. And I'm in Chicago. With the
Oh,
beach.
look, Ginger is a dog.
I want a dog. I'm so lonely.
You need a dog. You need a dog, Christy.
I know. I've been thinking about adopting one right now, but like, I live in a 4th floor condo, so.
It's a lot of
can't
steps.
That's 3,000 steps for a dachshund.
Oh.
Let's see, Keith, where are you from?
I'm in New Hope. It's Lambertville, New Jersey. It's about 72 miles outside of New York City.
Oh, you're not far.
No.
So
I work in the city, yeah. When
Chris,
allowed to be.
Christy's in Calgary.
Canada.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Canada.
Da, 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 da. I don't know the words, but I know the tune.
On the ground here. What about you guys?
It was 80 today.
You suck.
Sorry.
I'm wearing my elf hat and my snowman sweater.
Wow, I should have worn my ugly Christmas sweater. I'll wear that like tomorrow
Saturday.
or Saturday. Yeah, I don't even know what day it is. Do you guys?
I heard that. I heard on good authority that we're getting masks and hand sanitizer in our stockings.
Oh.
Yeah, they went into heavy production. Just started.
All right then.
Yeah.
Do they have glitter?
Governor Cuomo, reached out and said all hands on deck.
Everyone's loving him now.
Yeah, he's a leader.
Yeah.
He is really awesome.
And he's hot. Sherry wants him in Chicago.
Who?
Sherry McGuinn.
No, who's hot?
Yeah, Governor Cuomo, the New York governor.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. We don't know anything about your guys' politics except for,
Closing the border so
Yeah.
we can't get in there.
This is the mask. These are the masks my daughter's making.
Oh, they're cute.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a market now for fashion masks. This is a thing. Like in Asia, they're already starting it. Like they're doing masks with like faces, like kitten noses, and like think like what's that thing? It's not TikTok. It's like what is it?
Snapchat.
Yeah,
they have a mask thing that's all sparkly that you can put on your.
Yeah, it's like taking the Snapchat things and putting it on the mask.
Yeah. My daughter wants to find some Venom material, the character Venom, comic book character, because he has that big scary grin.
I would wear that one.
Oh, all I see is a phone.
I know, it's a stalker.
Oh, there we go.
I would wear a mask and smile to Walmart. I would do that. And I would video the reactions too. I totally would.
So we should probably start the formal part of the program before we degrade into natural degradation.
Chaos.
This is going to be
Okay.
graded because I didn't know that was happening.
So I've got a little bit. I'm Susan in Poughkeepsie, and Lori's got some stuff. She's got some caricatures. And then Andy does stand up in Chicago, and of course all the clubs are closed, and my improv class is closed, and it's so sad. So this is why we decided to come together, because some of us just can't. It's a hardship to be away from people telling jokes. So this is where we are. So do you want to start us off with one of your caricatures, Lori, and then I'll do not necessarily the news.
I always have to go first.
You don't have to go first.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. That's a whole other character. She whines. But like I said, I don't want to die in my sleep tonight. So my husband's in the other room, and I just wish I could be a fly on the wall and watch him while I'm doing this. He can't hear any of you because I have earbuds in. But anyway.
So if you all would put yourself on mute while she goes.
So, because we are in quarantine, and quarantine does not mean bad manners, I will give you Magnolia Jane's etiquette rules for quarantine. My mother handed these down to me when she was a Phi Kappa Iota Pi 50 years ago. Number 1, do not wear a white mask after Labor Day or before Easter. Number 2, when drinking your mint julep, keep your glove-fingered pinky raised. Avoid using words like sputum, mucus, gas, and hacking. Just because there's a plague, there's no need to be uncouth. Just say that Aunt Vestal needed a handkerchief after suffering from the vapors during her spell. Do not neglect your appearance during these perilous times. Belk Hudson and Macy's may be closed, but a good Southern belle can always make do with a pair of curtains. Do good to others. Now is the time to encourage our leaders. So don your SEC garb proudly. And if you Yankees don't know what that means, that's because y'all ain't got no good football teams up there. Nick Saban and all the other coaches need us now more than ever. If that hippie lady down the street makes you some vegan goat cheese ravioli, be sure to write her thank you note, wearing gloves and using a sanitized pen. Then throw that dish in the garbage. I don't trust anybody's cooking who doesn't shave her legs. Finally, sweet tea is the only tea. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Unsweet tea is the devil's bastardized tea introduced by the Yankees during Reconstruction to keep the South from rising again. That's it.
Yeah, so you can unmute to clap and laugh.
Don't make me use the rim shot.
That was really funny.
Fun.
I didn't know that about sweet tea.
Yeah.
I did not know
Sweet tea
that.
is the devil's dirt water.
Oh my, but
I mean, unsweet tea. Sorry.
unsweetened tea.
Unsweet
Yeah,
tea is the devil's dirt water.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
get the power cord. 1 sec.
Uh-oh. Chrissy's MIA.
Just plugging in my laptop.
All righty.
All right.
So I think we're gonna let Andy do, why don't you do your short bit first, Andy?
That sounds
Because
great.
you have 2 bits and Lori has 2 bits and I have 1.
And I'm okay if we only do 1 as well. Let me pull up. I'm just saying. Well, here, this is a brand new thing I've written, so we'll just see how it goes. Today I actually finished it. It's Genesis if God was a millennial. So I'll just dive right in. In the beginning, it was a Sunday. God created the heavens and the earth. He made heaven super dope. He paved the streets with gold, erected pearly gates and walls of precious jewels, because God cared about material things. In fact, by the time God was done making heaven, he realized it was too good to share with just anyone. So he made a rule that you had to kiss his ass for 80 years or so before you could get in. And you couldn't be a dick about it. You had to be a decent person. And then you had to die. Only then were you worthy, maybe. This seemed fair to the great and powerful, all-knowing Creator. On Monday, God needed to get to work on this idea he's had for a while called Earth, so he rolled out of his heaven bed and was all like, "Let there be light." He clapped his hands and the sun came out, and he was like, "Yes, God," and there was light on Earth. The sun stuck around for most of the afternoon, overstaying its welcome, and then left to let its dog out. So there was morning and evening on the first day, and God saw that the light was good, so he took a heavenly dump and fell asleep watching Die Hard. On Tuesday, God made a dome. He called half of it sky, and he put water under it. And since he didn't really have a vision yet, he called that a day, and fell asleep listening to Cher on vinyl. That night, he had a wild dream. He saw dry areas called land, wet areas called seas, and in the land he saw all these vines and cherry trees, and when he woke up, it was Wednesday, and God scrambled to recreate everything from the dream. It was hazy, but all things considered, he did a not half bad job. He went to bed that night drinking some heaven whiskey. Thursday, he was hung over, and the light was bothering him, so he created night and went right back to bed. He didn't mean to, but he slept until Friday. When he woke up, he splashed his face with the earth water and realized he could put things in there for him to look at. So he made fish and coral and sharks, just to be an asshole. He was super productive and made some really cool stuff. He shared snaps of the marine life on his Insta and went to bed. By Saturday, God had been at this whole earth thing for almost a week, and like me, when I thought I wanted to play guitar until I learned I had to practice, God was kind of over it. But he had come this far, so he made the fish things again, but on land this time, and he called them animals. And one of the animals looked a little bit like him, and he called that one human. He picked humans to be the one he would maybe allow into heaven, and he thought that was pretty cool. So he popped an edible, and he rested on the 7th day. That's it. You're all on mute.
You have to press the unmute button to clap.
Yeah. That's the usual response I get. It's just.
I like it.
I liked it too. That was fun. Did you do that? You do that in a club with like a couple of people hanging out and.
Yeah.
Nice.
I try and get a little crowd.
I love it.
Normally a room of other people waiting to go on, just like this. So.
I love it. It was really good. It was creative.
Thank you.
You guys are brave.
Am I the only one? But I'm feeling like I want to look down like this is like a whole Brady Bunch kind of a thing, like. Yeah, it's like
You know what went on in that doghouse, don't you?
Doghouse?
Yeah, in the back of the Brady Bunch set.
The Brady Bunch had a dog?
Yeah, he was a big fluffy dog. Tiger.
Oh, Tiger.
Yeah.
I forgot about that dog.
Yeah, all the non-related teenagers enjoyed the doghouse. I saw that on a documentary.
Interesting.
Yeah. When you
Brady
watch
Bunch.
it now, it's just really creepy. But,
Brady Bunch trivia.
Yeah.
You know, if this thing picks up steam and we get more people, the Brady Bunch thing is going to get really, really crazy.
We'll be like the Duggars. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got an SNL type, not necessarily the news. And I scan far and wide to come up with all the best bits of information that you need to know in case you missed them. So the federal government continues, the United States federal government, continues to invest in a boatload in the Census 2020 project. Personally, I've received 3 mailings, 50 emails, and now I'm starting to see Facebook ads I have one question though. Do we think this might all be a little too soon? I think whoever came up with the term shared economy, this was not what they had in mind. So Uber, Lyft, and other shared economy services, of course, are experiencing declining sales, except for Airbnb in upstate New York, where the city dwellers are fleeing to escape the chaos. Short-term rentals are surging so high, you'd think people were fleeing from the mafia. In other industries, gun sales are up once again. But the good news is mass shootings are down. You may have noticed that headhunters are extraordinarily busy. My inbox is flooded with emails. Companies are desperately hiring in these fields: warehouse workers, package delivery, cashiers, and all forms of sanitation. Of course, there's no hazard pay, and you'll be lucky if you can get any of these highly sought after positions. It's been reported that Vladimir Putin released more than 500 lions on the streets to ensure people are staying indoors during the pandemic. And lastly, hold on one second. Little technical difficulty here. Hold on one second. Lastly, raccoons all over America have been leaving the woods and appearing at people's backyard pools, reportedly demonstrating hand washing techniques and saying, "What took you so long?"
Aw,
Aww.
that's
That's cute.
Funny.
And there you go. Not necessarily the news.
great job.
Aw.
Love the multimedia. Well done.
Yeah, very impressive.
Oh, did you like the multimedia?
Yay.
Wait, I'm trying to, oh, here, I'll get you back. Ah, there you go.
No.
Susan, you're a boss at technology.
You know, I wish I could make it, I wish I could like, you know, make it go a little faster for me, but
Yeah.
you know, it's my first time. I'm a Zoom share virgin. Okay, so let's go back to, who wants to go next?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I'm not even funny anymore. I've
We
been
lost,
laying here for 2
we
weeks.
lost Marla with the underwear.
Aw.
She gone.
She said it was
didn't get-
1:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Oh, woo. Yeah, that's our, yeah, no.
Keith, what do you got?
I'm just here as an audience tonight. I was just
Yay, we love
Aw.
audience.
a
Now
muted
that
audience.
I've seen all you guys, though, I'm going to go to all of your profiles and look at what you're writing.
Yeah. Well, I have one more thing, but you might have heard it. You might have already read it if you read on Medium regularly and
I haven't
read
heard
my
it from
stuff.
the author herself.
Well, I think you can't assume that because it's hard to get into every single article, Lori. So I think you should just
But-
do it.
I know everybody reads all my stuff because I'm so awesome. No, I don't think I've written anything in a month. So I've been trying to finish the crime killer novel. I can only do a couple of things at a time. So, all right. So I was telling Susan before this that I wrote that little Magnolia Jane thing, but I'm not really as funny if I plan to be funny ahead of time. It's more accidental. So yeah. So that's why I don't ever do stand up, because you have to plan ahead of time how to be funny, and that doesn't work. So I had an article, maybe last week. the material I might use if I ever had the guts to do any kind of open mic, which will probably never happen. I don't mind singing. Singing is fine, but no, I'm not going to be doing the other. So this is called If I Had the Guts to Do a Comedy Open Mic. I know that's a really creative title. Everyone who knows me thinks I'm funny. Yeah, I know those really bad auditioners on American Idol say the same thing, but it's true, okay? My kids may not agree. They mostly grown. That's why they're not in the will. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. My sense of humor is pretty eclectic. Dad jokes from my dad. He only knows 4. Quick highbrow wit from my mom, slapstick from my innate lack of coordination, sarcasm from my conflict-avoidant passive-aggressive tendencies, puns because they are awesome, and weird observations because I'm weird. But I can't be funny on purpose. If one of those annoying jerks, which I'm sure you've all had this happen, walks up in my bubble and says, "Say something funny," yeah, I go completely blonde. Suck it up, Francis. We all know your blonde comes from a bottle. So when I think about doing an open mic night, which friends have bugged me to do for years, all I can see is a bunch of people with big heads staring at me expecting something funny, and then I cluck like a chicken and run off the stage. I don't know why they all have big heads in my imagination. This isn't a psychology article. So here are a few things I might talk about if I was ever drunk enough to attempt this. South, which I've already done. There's no shortage of people who like to joke about the South. The problem is, except for maybe Jeff Foxworthy, most of them have never lived below Virginia. They eat avocado toast or fold their pizza, and they think everyone talks like Scarlett O'Hara or Barney Fife. Yeah, I'm pointing my too long fingernail at you, Yankee, while my foot taps, causing my gold-plated ankle bracelet to jingle. Not that I'm thinking of anyone specific. That said, we do have a lot of fodder for comedians. There's the phobia many of us have of proper subject-verb agreement, the mullet, and the whole NASCAR thing. Oh wait, those are just sad. But I could school the audience on the ratio balance of tan to bleach blonde that must be achieved so that one does not cross over from sun-kissed into my boyfriend deals meth and my house has wheels. I could talk about all the things my mom didn't want me to do growing up, from snorting and smoking to fighting and playing the drums, all because they aren't ladylike. Screw lung cancer, don't smoke, raise that pinky. Menopause and aging. Yes, this one's been done a lot, but hey, once again, the second century of life, things happen, they change, they move. Sometimes they disappear, like my chest when I lie on my back. Apparently they have social anxiety, so they hide in my armpits, which I still shave because I'm a Southern lady. I've never understood why the angry women don't shave. I get angry if my armpits are hairy because they itch. Anyway, I could reference hot flashes like the ones I have in church that I swear are God's reminder that I don't want to go to hell. So I hope I'm one of those people that, have kissed enough for those 80 years. Or the fact that the other day I cried because my dog's paws are so cute. And the next subject I'm going to skip because we're not talking about politics. Or religion, because unless you're Baptist, you won't get these jokes anyway. I might make jokes about my job. I'm an instructional designer, and no one knows what that is. I create online training, so I'm basically a teacher who became a tech nerd. The thing is, I work in a building full of Sheldons. Seriously, everyone in the building besides me is a socially awkward scientist. So I'm kind of like the penny of the building without the cute butt. I'm hoping some of their sciencey stuff will sink in so I can eventually graduate to Bernadette status. I'll never be Amy Farrah Fowler except for my nose. I could joke about my kids because they are really comedy worthy, but then again, I'm a former teacher who turned into something nobody gets what I do, and so I need to stay in their good graces so they can take care of me. They'll be the ones deciding if the cool retirement community with the good jello and the pottery classes or the other kind. So yeah, maybe I'll skip them. Dating. This would work if I did an open mic night for old people. Because when I dated the first time around, we did things like talked on phones with cords. We assumed our date would show up without 14 text reminders, and there was no such thing as ghosting. If we had 2 dates and they never called back, it was called, I guess he isn't interested, eat some ice cream, and move on. It wasn't like a giant phenomenon requiring therapy and a blog. Swiping right or left consisted of yes and no, and there were no incels. I mean, there were guys who couldn't get laid, but they just played D&D and blew up stuff in the chemistry lab. We had mullets. We didn't have neck beards. And as I'm looking over this whole list, I'm thinking there's a reason that I stick to a keyboard and Fleetwood Mac covers. I can be funny in response to your funny or your opening or your blatant stupidity, but I'm no Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Again, except for maybe the nose. I definitely might have Seinfeld's nose. Yeah, I think I'll just be a heckler. Ta-da!
Yay! That was great.
And now we know why I sing instead of do stand-up.
That was great.
That's
I think
great.
she is.
That was so great.
Lori, that was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Lori,
Thank you.
Lori, was that a post that you had put up on Medium?
Yeah, well, I did it under the bad influence one day. I try to spread myself around because I don't know why. I'm ADHD.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. But the reason I asked is many of us publish our posts across lots of different publications. And so it's almost impossible to read every piece of work that we've all done.
Mhm.
And
Yes. I just broke my chair, so I'm feeling embarrassed now. It's okay. Hey, somebody new came in.
That's
That's-
me.
that's my friend Kim.
Oh,
How do
Okay.
I
but she's
know?
not. I don't see her face.
Do you have video, Kim?
She's asking me a question. How do I answer her?
Are you on a computer?
I am.
Okay, and then so put your mouse, roll it down to like the bottom of the screen, and a thing will pop up, a little bar will pop up, and it'll say start video.
I really did not want to see it.
And then we'll see.
It's like it looks like a little camera.
And it's
Kim had help.
Hi.
Kim is strictly. She's strictly
Oh,
audience.
she's really pretty. I want her to stop her video now.
What's to say about the rest of us?
Thank you.
I'm gonna marry her
Just
sometime.
All right.
I'm having to look at my husband's phone. So because I didn't have my password.
Hey,
Did I
you got coronavirus hair. You
I
got
do.
quarantine hair.
I do.
We all
I
have
totally do.
coronavirus
That's
here.
why when you said I don't see her, I was like, thank God. And then he handed me the phone, and then I popped down the screen. I'm like, shit. I was like, I don't even know where to look. I'm looking, but it's
Well, you should have there should be
Oh,
like
there it is.
on your computer there should be like a light or like a camera lens.
oh, it's an iPad. It's an iPad. Just forget it.
Oh, it's an iPad.
When I see myself,
Oh.
I'm looking so far that way.
Yeah.
How do I fix that?
Yeah, it's where the little
Look right at the
camera is on
camera.
iPads is weird looking.
If you
Oh,
look right
okay.
at the camera,
Well,
it'll
anyway,
look
so
like
it looks
you're
like I'm
looking.
not looking at you. I am.
So the first
Did I
time I
miss
met Kim, she was coming to stay in my Airbnb, and she had just got off the train, and her daughter was getting she got like this full scholarship to the Culinary Institute, which is no joke. It's like a big deal because it's a really fancy, expensive school. And so that was really
Now it's just an online school.
yeah. Now it's an online. How do you take chef classes online anyway? But
Uh,
that's a whole other thing.
yeah.
And
you can
she
write
was
some
like,
stick about that.
speaking in very seductive tones to me. And like, she wasn't in my car like 15 minutes, and I had a car accident.
Oh, God.
It was very unnerving. And I told her, you can't talk to me like that. You can't talk to me like
Every
that.
time I'm in the car with her, something happens. She runs a bag over or hits another car, or it's pretty funny.
It was only that once. It was only that one time I hit the car.
Well, but then you ran over that bag that I'm pretty sure had an animal in it.
No.
Oh, wow.
So did I miss your comedy?
Well, we recorded a lot of it, and I'm gonna post it, so you'll get to see it.
Okay, I just have to find my password and all.
What is it? Andy, do you still have another thing?
Sorry.
What was
Was that opera?
Well, I was gonna play some Barry White, but we're already past the seductive voice, so it doesn't really fit. We
Andy,
gotta.
did you have another thing, Andy, that you?
Only if we want to hear it.
Well,
Yes.
I want to hear it.
But first, how do you pronounce your last name?
Oh, it's awful. Mahalik.
It would work with
Mahalik.
that song then. Yes. Before we
Mahalik.
were here, I said everybody's name is really, you can make a song out of everybody's name, and yours would be, I ain't no Mahala Bat Girl. I ain't no Mahala Bat Girl. There you go.
Oh.
Now, what's mine? Yeah, what's mine?
Who said that?
Me.
Me.
Susan.
See, now I told you, if you tell me to say something funny, it's not going to happen.
Okay, well, you noodle on that. Christy Keller and Susan Brearley, you noodle on those. I'm sure
I
you're
don't want
gonna
to hear
come up
anything
with.
about Helen because it's been done.
Did you guys see my last name?
Seaforth.
Cyphers.
Cyphers. Ooh,
Yeah, do one with that.
like math. Cipher thing. Sorry.
I don't even know what that means. Because that-
Cipher, like
Yeah,
cipher, like the math thing.
It's a stretch.
How are you guys all dealing?
Or
Oh, you guys are in New York? Or is everybody in New York?
No,
It's all over.
All
Where are you
Andy?
guys all from?
I'm Canadian.
Chicago.
Chicago?
Alabama.
I'm outside
Seattle?
of New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys did it bad. Hey?
Marla's in England.
Wow.
Which one's Marla?
I just
She's
pointed
the-
my screen at her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
she has the neatest voice of all of us.
Marla? The one that's not talking?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, is that Marla right there?
Yes.
You're on mute, Marla, but it doesn't say you are.
She's talking.
I think there's a lag because it's across the pond.
Yeah, could be. People are like, they're taking different times of like when we sing.
If we all mute, if we all mute and don't say anything for 5 seconds, Marla can say something and we can hear her beautiful voice.
Okay, let's all talk.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
You can't. Can you see us?
I can see people.
I can see.
There you go. It's like I see people.
Yeah.
That was
I still-
movie.
I saw a T-shirt one time that said, I see dumb people. And I really wish I had bought it. Not for y'all, but just so I could wear it.
Don't lie.
Lori, I just thought of something from your set. I'm going to call it your stand-up set that you just did. What were you saying? Oh, when people say something funny, I have to share this story. So we get that in Chicago in the comedy community. That's like the #1 pet peeve, and it happens to all of us constantly, all the time. And the worst, so I came up with just a standard because I'm too tired. I come up with a standard when people say something funny, I just say your sex life. And it like works every time. Right? And it works. I'm like, okay, bye. Right. So,
Your
but I'm
face.
also a tour guide, a part-time job I have. I wear many hats. I'm a Chicago tour guide. And I, one time, was leading a high school group of students and a 16-year-old boy in the group who was being a little jackass was like, say something funny. And I was like, your sex life. And that teacher was not happy with me. And I was like, oh, sorry, that's just like my thing. But the kid was embarrassed and it worked, so.
Well, there you go.
Whatever
So
works.
Andy, why don't you give us your second bit here that you've got?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you see the message from Marla down there?
What?
Susan,
Oh, let me see. Oh, yes, Marla. Yes, Marla. Yes. Let's do that right after Andy.
Okay.
or are you trying to go to bed, Marla? You want to go first so you can go to bed?
Can you hear me?
We sure
Yeah.
can.
I keep sliding in and out. I want Susan to read it for me.
Sure will.
Oh, you want me to read your piece?
Yes, please, because my reception is really bad.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, so for those of you who got here late, Marla came in with with her well, let me just read it.
Oh, I'll put it back on.
I got it. Oh yeah, put it back on and I'll read it. Yeah, perfect. So it's called Ladies, Please Share Your Thongs. Oh, I can do the tech thing too, I think here. I can do with the video. Oh yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I got this. Okay. I got this. A friend sent me a video today. This is Marla's bit. A friend sent me a video today. She's discovered the ideal solution for the world shortage of masks in these desperate coronavirus times. Ladies, thongs. No, not the type we wear on our feet. Those are throngs. The other ones. Now, let me just give you, hold on one second, because I'm going to share something with you here. Hold on one second. Ready? Can you see it? All right, hold on. Loading. Look at this. Try restarting your device. Okay, hold on. Let me get out of this. Now that you can't get a mask for love or money, people are turning to creative ways to solve the problem. My daughter ordered cycle balaclavas for her son, which he now refuses to take it off. That's balaclavas. What is that? What does that mean? That's the cycle balaclava. He refuses to take it off. Oh, you can't see that. Hold on a second. Let me go back to that.
Balaclava is a mask.
What's that? It's a mask?
A scrubber's mask.
Oh, it's a scrub's mask. That's a picture of Marla's grandson. Oh, wait. You don't see it. Oh, there you go. Picture of Marla's grandson. Okay. So, tips for using thongs as masks. Number 1, buy new or make sure they are freshly washed. Okay, you may have difficulties getting to the shops to buy lingerie, but try online, or failing that, beg, borrow, or steal from any female in your family and friend circle. Just be sure to wash on 60 degrees beforehand and use a laundry softener. Don't want anything rough up against your face. Number 2, choose a dark color like black or dark brown or green. Avoid red, pinks, oranges, or patterns, and any thongs with wording. No walking about with sexy thing emblazoned on your head is not cute or sexy. Ideally, number 3, you need 3 or 4 pairs so you can change regularly. Daily or twice a day is fine. But if you can only get 1 pair, don't worry. A great thing about thongs is they are quick and easy to wash and dry. Hand wash them last thing at night and hang them up. They'll be ready to wear again in the morning. Number 4, do not, I repeat, do not share thongs. You wouldn't share a simple mask, and you shouldn't share thongs either. If you live with other people, try to choose a color each. See number 2, so there's no chance of mix-ups. So you have the black one, they have the brown one, yeah, like that. You may have difficulties getting to the shops to buy lingerie, but try online, or failing that, beg, borrow, or steal from any female in your family and friend circle. Just be sure to wash them beforehand. Use a laundry softener. Try not to feel self-conscious. Yes, some people may point and laugh at you as you go on your daily constitutional wearing a thong on your face. Just ignore them. You are doing your bit to stay well, so you will probably have the last laugh. And that's by Marla Bishop. Marla, it's genius. It's really surely genius. Really genius.
Love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really love it.
I had a lot of fun writing that.
And that was published up on our publication MuddyUm today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow that, Kim, but yeah, so we're recording this, everybody, so we can I like the idea of taking current pieces and reading them, because it's also a way to introduce and, maybe get more people who subscribe to Medium and follow our comedy publication. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, there's
Nancy.
Yay!
Hi, Nancy. Do you have video? Is this your first time? Are you a Zoom?
Yes. Hello. Yes, I'm still trying to figure out the audio, the video and audio.
We can hear you. So. We can hear you. If you take your mouse and you move it down to the bottom, a little bar, like a control bar will pop up, and then you'll see it says start video.
Okay, I'm on my phone, so it's a little different.
Hey.
Oh, similar though. It still
but
works.
Go on. I'm listening. Go on.
Okay, so I think Andy's gonna read something next.
All right, I'll go. I will read. This is it's 7 minutes. Do we want that?
Yeah.
It feels like an eternity. Okay. So this is different than anything I publish on Medium. So on Medium, I try and do, satire, comedy, but I've been doing a lot of staged essays, so true stories about my family. I currently live in Chicago. I'm a married gay man from Pennsylvania, population of like under 1,200. So very small mind, very different, right? So I have a couple stories. I think I'll start tonight. We'll do a gentle one because my other one, it's a little intense. And you gotta get introduced to my family a little bit. So we'll do this one. It is called The Sacred Suburban Garbage Day. Once a year at Christmas time, my husband, Devin, and I travel to our hometowns in Western Pennsylvania to visit our families and remind ourselves why we moved to Chicago in the first place. The small town excitement of waking up, wondering whether gas will be $2.47 or $2.49 today, just isn't for us. If you didn't grow up in Pennsylvania, allow me to explain that gas prices are a really big thing there. Some days, the gas is $2.47 a gallon, which is totally fine. But other days, those assholes jack the price up to $2.49 a gallon. It goes back down to $2.47 the next day, but you never know when those sons of bitches are going to jack it back up to $2.49 again for highway robbery. Best to stop and fill up on the 247 day, even if your tank is pretty much full to begin with, because you never know. The suburbs are full of these types of mental traps. If you live in one long enough, the daily, weekly routine becomes something that can't be changed. Fear of the unknown and the different becomes terrifying and all-consuming. And one of the largest of these fears revolves around the sacred suburban garbage day. The day after Christmas this year, which was a Thursday, my father came into the living room where my husband and I were sleeping on separate legs of my parents' sectional couch. Standing over us in his pajamas, he cleared his throat until we acknowledged that we were, in fact, awake. "Oh, you're up," he said. "Hey, do you guys want some eggs or an omelet or..." He trailed off, his head tilted, his ears perked like a dog responding to the word treat. He looked at me, wide-eyed with fear, and said, "Is that the garbage truck?" I don't know," I said. "Sounds like one." "Well, what's the garbage truck doing here?" he asked, his hands twitching. "It's Thursday." "I don't know, Dad. When does the garbage truck normally come?" "Saturday. It normally comes on Saturday. It's only Thursday." And without another word, my father, a middle-aged man, ran out of the door. I'm not even sure that he had shoes on, and I wake up my husband. "You have to see this," I tell him. "The garbage truck is coming 2 days early. This is going to make the papers." We face the back of the couch, peering like children through the curtains, looking out at my front yard. Just then, my father zooms past the window, sprinting to the back of our house. I had never in my life seen this man run. He was beautiful, like a gazelle. I had always imagined that if forced to run, my father would lumber or hobble, but it turns out that he never lost that natural athletic ability that old photos of him suggested he once had. And I can't breathe. Tears start running down my face because we live on top of a hill, surrounded by neighbors, and the truck sounds like it's very much still at the bottom of that hill. There is plenty of time to get these cans out. Yet, my father returns dragging 2 large plastic bins behind him like he's in the Winter Olympics. Boom, 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 boom. He gets them to their spot. And then the most beautiful thing happened. As my father catches his breath and the truck continues to climb our hill, our next-door neighbor's screen door opens. The woman that emerges is in a long nightshirt with no bra or pants in sight. Barefoot, with her greasy, thin hair pulled to the top of her head by a pink scrunchie, she drags behind her an open bag of trash. No doubt the one from her kitchen can. She picks up paper towels as they fall out because there is no time to stop and tie that bag closed when the truck is this close. She throws the bag down on the sidewalk and screams, "This is bullshit! They need to communicate this shit!" "I know," my father hollers back. My neighbors come out of their houses in various states of nakedness. They're shouting and swearing as cans are brought to curbs. My dad stands his ground, chin high. He's proud, I'm sure, to be the first one to make it outside. And like a general on the battlefield, he watches the garbage truck advance as his troops arm and ready themselves. "Garbage doesn't normally come until Saturday," we hear one of the neighbors shout as he cracks a can of beer open. It's 9 a.m. "I know," my dad replied, acknowledging once again that this is indeed not the routine. The garbage truck finally ascends to the top of the hill. My husband and I are clutching each other to keep from rolling off the couch, our eyes wide with anticipation. And a large man in his early 30s, wearing a hard hat and yellow vest, with a curly neck beard that he thinks his wife loves, hangs from the side of the garbage truck, and he is in no mood for the rebellion he sees before him. "Everybody needs to calm down," he shouts. If he had a white flag, he'd be waving it. "We are coming back on Saturday. I am just trying to get ahead of the trash because of Christmas, so I don't have a 12-hour day on Saturday." My father, who is not a confrontational man, nods in satisfaction. This is logical. So he retreats up our driveway. "Good," his face reads, "as long as things get back on schedule." Our neighbors were not as forgiving. The woman without pants on, specifically, screams the garbage man's head off for quite some time. Can you believe her? My father asks when he gets back inside, still out of breath from taking out the garbage. Yelling at that guy like that, like it's the end of the world if the garbage comes a few days early. Yeah, I say, staring deep into his eyes. What an idiot. I will admit that my worst nightmare at age 14 when taking out the trash was my responsibility was being woken up at 5 a.m. by the sound of a garbage truck coming up the hill that I was not prepared for. Not because I cared, but because I knew that my dad did. As an adult man who spends too much of my time thinking about what drives my father's obsession with trash cans, I am left with the conclusion that it must be more about pride than sanitation. This is what I think goes on in my father's head when he misses a garbage day. When Cindy across the street puts her cans out, she will no doubt notice that my cans aren't out there. She's going to either put my own cans out for me, something that really does happen in rural Pennsylvania. Your neighbors want to make sure, as I see the nods, that your trash is out and that your lawn is mowed, or they'll do it for your, or if not, she will wonder why I didn't put my cans out. She might think I'm too good to take my cans out or that I'm dirty. She probably will notice that my car was here all week, so she knows I'm not on vacation. I hope she doesn't think I forgot, like I'm a forgetful person. Also, I pay for the garbage service, damn it. That's why I don't recycle. That's what I pay the garbage man for. I'm not about to miss a week of service that I pay for. For those of you who are fascinated by this, I will give you one final treat. Suburban Pennsylvanians, my father included, are just as weird about when to bring the cans back in. You don't bring the cans back in right after the garbage truck comes. That makes it seem like you had nothing better to do than to watch and wait for the garbage truck, which is the truth. No, you watch him take your garbage just in case he skips you or puts your cans back a foot away from where they actually go. But you can't wait too long. You don't want to be the last person on the street to bring your cans in, or people will think something about you. No, ideally you want to bring the cans in 1 or 2 hours after the truck comes. Maybe when you go out to get your mail, or check that your car is still safely locked in your driveway on the top of your hill in a town with only 2,672 residents, of whom you know 2,672 of their names, occupations, and birthdays. Best to make sure, though, because you wouldn't want something out of the ordinary to happen. Thank you.
Great.
Oh, gosh.
Andy, I grew up in suburban Pennsylvania.
Where at?
Berks County, Pennsylvania, which is eastern. It's about an hour and a half north of Philadelphia, like northeast of Philadelphia, and it's smack in the middle of Pennsylvania Dutch country.
Yes.
So yeah, so like horse and buggies, and I went to school with like Amish and Mennonite people who rode a bus for like an hour to get to school.
Yeah.
And in elementary school, I had across the street from our house was the coal yard, which supplied us with the coal to heat our house, as well as the farm equipment store where they used to come in from the country to the, just take their horse and buggies, those black classic horse and buggies. And they would park the horses, and I would yell at my mom, "Mom, I'm going across the street to pet the horses." And she'd say, "Okay." And then I'd go out the door and I'd cross the street and I'd pull grass and I'd feed the horses. And, when it was time for coal, the truck would just back up to our coal chute, put our coal delivery window and drop the chute in there, and the coal would drop down. And it was quite an experience. And that bit that you just did, oh my God, it's so, yes, like everybody is like those details, all those little details matter so. Oh yes. That was hysterical.
Yes. I think, is your dad's name Mike and Is he 86? And because I think he's my
Mark.
dad. God, that is so. Oh, that was funny.
That was good.
Kim's over there talking to herself.
Kim, you're on mute. She has no idea.
I know she might be telling a joke. We don't know.
I know. It looks funny too.
Kim, you're on mute.
It's funnier without.
Unmute. You're mute.
Oh wait, how do I unmute?
Are you telling a joke?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I'm not muted.
Oh, her husband had to
Just
do it.
found that now you're not now.
No.
You
Oh
were.
wait. Now now my pants are in the way. No, I was saying that part.
Maybe it's that lady's pants that wasn't wearing it.
I like that part about what people think of you if you take it in right away, then it
Yes.
looks like you have nothing else better to do. Like the things that he was saying about all the little things that were going on in our mind that are so egotistical but true that we just just the fluff. That was the funniest part. All of it was funny. I could picture his dad. Like,
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have dreams of trash and songs on my head tonight.
I have that story
You can have
structured.
Songs.
I have like an early out in that story when the room is not warm. So when the story's just not hitting, I have an early out there where it's like when I call my father an idiot when he first comes in. And then all the rest of that, I just cut if the room is not into the story. That's my out.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
How could they not be into the story?
Oh, there's days.
No, that
Yeah,
was good.
Andy, you've given me really good ideas. Like I had never really thought about having a really funny essay and using that at a mic, at a stand-up mic. But
Fun.
I mean, clearly it works. I mean, you've got two beautiful pieces there. They're really funny. They're really,
yeah.
really good.
Thanks.
We have something down here every year, about an hour away from me. It's a huge storytelling festival. And that's what it is. It's just people telling those kind of stories, and they are hilarious.
Do you have that memorized, or do you read it, or do you have it memorized when you do it for a room?
Me?
Yeah.
I read it, but I have a whole bit so that it's apparent that, and I say, it's not that I'm unprepared. I'm actually very professional. I do this whole bit. But I actually do read from the page just because I do better that way with that type of story.
I would think so.
But these come out of just the party stories that I tell. The story that actually happens. I go tell it at a party, the room laughs, and I think, well, there's an essay.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That gave me several ideas. That was really good.
Me as well. You too,
It made
Christy.
me wonder-
Christy is one of the funniest people. Christy, you got to read next time. You got to come and read.
I've never been in a room full of people, and I have the least to say. I'm not this quiet person.
But your writing is really good and really funny.
Oh, it is. It is.
So you should pick next time, like if you're going to be here on Saturday, you should pick something and share it, read. Because, not everybody gets to read everything. So, yeah. Lori, are you going to do your redneck thing?
I didn't take pictures. If I had taken pictures of the redneck scavenger hunt, I mean, it's really hard to find things.
O'Reilly Motors.
Yeah. Well, he was telling a story that's like the redneck gospel of garbage. So I had to dress appropriately.
Well, you can save it. You can save it.
I'll save it until I couldn't figure out what my stepson and I could do that was fun, that didn't require interaction. And so we were just gonna drive around my little town and do a redneck scavenger hunt. Like, say, point it out if you see a rusted out car in someone's yard. Point it out if you see someone with no shirt and a mullet. Point it out. And sadly, I will have pictures of all of that.
About 10 minutes.
Where do you live?
I live in Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Oh.
Really like that there?
My husband said that's a lot of big music.
Yes, I was about to say, if you like music, watch the independent film Muscle Shoals. It's really good. But
Really.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll watch that tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
America sounds cool.
What date is our garbage time?
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
fun.
what you're thinking about.
It's a fun
What
town.
date does it come?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Kim, did you just say what date is our garbage down?
Yes.
I did.
You've been educational as well.
This is what we do in Seattle.
I love Seattle. If I didn't live
beautiful.
here, I would love
Oh,
to live
look,
in
see?
Seattle.
What is that?
Ooh.
Oh,
A puzzle.
We're gonna do
I
that.
like
Yeah.
a puzzle.
Oh, nice.
You
It's
got
a
a
puzzle with a
going,
can
Steve?
of a beer. He works for Amazon, so you can imagine like.
Oh wow.
And we're in
Hey.
Seattle. What?
Hey,
Done.
hey, where's my dog shirt that I ordered last week?
I'll look that up.
Where's my toilet paper?
Yeah, I'll make sure that you get that.
I need the sanitizer. I need more sanitizer. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Governor Cuomo says we're going to start manufacturing like 100,000 tons of hand sanitizer a week or something.
There are some local breweries down here that are using, I don't know, whatever leftover ingredients you can use from a brewery to make hand
We have
sanitizer.
that up here too. We have some distilleries doing the same thing.
So, but
Yeah.
you know, somebody down here is going to drink it. I know that someone named Cletus is going to drink their hand sanitizer. Oh, yeah. I almost married a boy whose mother's name was Maylene and father's name was Erskine. I kid you not. My last name would have been Hyman, and I'm very glad I did not make that decision. Oh. Yeah. Ooh, I like the cat.
Oh, kitty.
He had to make a visit.
Well, this was fun. What do you think? Should we do it again and again and again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, yes.
All right. So, so what the plan is record each one, and then it'll go out there, and it'll be public. I'll post it, and then you can share it with whoever. You can invite whoever you want. This is an open room. We have space for 100 people.
Woo.
I want 100 people.
I do too. It'd be like that. Well,
It's
they had
a
this
story.
they had a virtual choir when I was a music teacher. We had a virtual choir where all the singers were like little squares on the screen.
Oh,
So that's what that'll be like.
that's awesome.
So we can sing like Sweet Caroline together. Sweet
Dun-dun-dun.
Caroline.
No, we have to have,
Ba-ba-ba.
we need the coronavirus playlist. Like,
Yes.
don't stand so close to me.
Okay, you get on that, Lori.
My corona. Okay, sorry.
My corona.
When extroverts can't interact, it gets really bad.
I have a feeling like Nancy was on mute. Nancy, can you hear us?
That was awesome.
Nancy, can you
I
hear
saw your
me?
chat, Nancy. Nancy was on the chat board.
Oh, Nancy's
Oh, I
the
see
chat.
her.
Wait a minute, wait a
Yeah.
minute. 50 claps for Victoria's Secret. Oh, that's nice.
That was a while ago.
I wasn't you. I'm sorry, guys. I was not looking at this chat. Holy crap, this is amazing. I was just so into, this is really good. You all can see the chat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click it.
Yeah, nice.
Zooming in on Kim's people up there.
What happened?
It just keeps going back to her, and she's just like,
I know. It's like those filtered Instagram things. I
Yeah.
just woke up.
living life.
Yeah, right.
Look at this.
Now, Kit. Oh, that's pretty.
Ooh.
Told you. Look. Come visit me, Susan.
I will. Next time you have to show me the room I'm going to stay in, you know.
Oh, so you okay. I was gonna say
You don't have to do it now. You don't have to do it now. But, you know, Kim, it doesn't matter that you're not, like, we're all of us here, we all write for MuddyUm, for the publication that I editor-in-chief.
Oops, I accidentally shared my screen.
Oh, did you? No, I don't see it.
Oh, well now I'm going to show this picture.
Oh,
So-
nice hat, dude.
Wait,
New
maybe I
York! New York! We lead the nation. Oh, yeah.
Why is it doing
That's
that?
terrible. I wondered if when I shared, did you only see what I shared in my box?
Yes. Yes. I didn't mean to click share screen. I don't know
So
what I
you
was
could
doing.
still see each other.
I only saw you and your picture and what you shared. I didn't see
saw
everybody else.
Everyone else got smaller.
Right.
On mine, they all went.
Ooh.
I wondered about that. Okay,
It
cool.
depends, I'm sure, what browser you use.
But
I'm
I
on
think
Chrome.
I think you all have the ability to share like that too.
Yeah, I wanted to share
Yeah,
my
there you go.
stoned dolphin, but I couldn't figure out how.
And I had to plan it a little, so I knew what I was going to do, and I knew what video I was going to do with what, and then so I kind of practiced it a little and planned it.
I had
Nancy saying bye. Bye, Nancy.
a red bag with all of my
Uh-oh.
passwords and everything that I've been
That's
walking
me.
around with. For
Oh,
a
somebody
while.
shared.
That's me, and I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, here we
And
go.
then you can unshare.
Oh, there's a dolphin.
Yes, do you know I learned this today? I sent this to my daughter because we send each other funny animal stuff all the time, and it says boop, boop. She told me that the reason dolphins do that is because when they do that to the pufferfish, toxins are released, and it makes the dolphins high. So now you all know that dolphins are stoners that go around booping pufferfish so that they can
Dolphins are pretty wild.
Look
Just
at
made me
his
laugh.
eyes. Look,
That's
look
why
at
there's.
I know he's like, whoa. So
he look, that's like a stoner look if I ever saw one.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
he's
I just-
wasted.
Yeah. Dude.
He's
No wonder
trash.
no wonder they eat so many of those little fish. Okay, I'm done now. Stop.
I actually have the ability also, like if you share something and it's like a if somebody's like sharing dick pics or something, I have the control. I can totally unshare that shit.
So
Wait,
you're
do you
saying you don't want to see pictures of my cousin Richard is what you're
No.
saying.
Well, I don't know what your cousin Richard looks like,
I
but
don't have a cousin Richard.
Oh, I got you.
I know, it's really sad.
My next surprise. What the fuck?
Look at that wiener dog.
I was going to wear a t-shirt. It's my husband's t-shirt. It says, it's not a party until a wiener comes out. It's got a wiener dog on it, but I thought, well, I'm Baptist. Maybe I shouldn't wear that.
Nah, this group is, you totally could have done that. Next one.
Funny.
All right, so I guess we're wrapping it up here, folks. I appreciate you all being here and contributing, and you've given me some great ideas, Andy. I think the reading and essay thing of stuff that we've already published is a great idea. I have to continue writing jokes because I'm never going to get to do stand-up if I don't. So I'm going to keep trying with my jokes, even if they're dark.
What time is the one on Saturday morning?
Saturday is noon. So yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So they're every other day. So today's Thursday at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is Saturday, 2 days from now, and that is it's noon
Eastern.
Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Noon Eastern.
That's 10 a.m. my time.
11 Central.
I probably can't be on that one. I have other video chat scheduled that day.
And
Are
then
there more than 6 people attending? Don't go.
yeah.
Oh.
And then the next one is Monday, and that is in the afternoon. And it's, what time is the afternoon one on Monday? 4?
Is it 3 or 4? I can't remember.
3 Eastern. Yeah, but we have it published. And then, so it's every other day. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, right? But
Yeah.
that at the same time, we're going to rotate through the times. So it'll be every other day, but it'll also be, morning, afternoon, evening.
Morning, afternoon, evening.
Yeah, like that.
I do
So
want
if you-
to, and I'll burn through material. I mean, it's good. I hope we get 1 million people on this, so there's always someone who can produce. But if it stays small, I'll burn through my material.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's fine. And if we get new people, we can always recycle too.
Cool.
We can always do funny prompts too, like put up a picture or put up a stupid news story, and then we just all go bananas.
You want to know what's so sad? I can't show you this list, but my husband had an SNL showcase audition that got canceled from Corona. Our apartment is him, like, prepping for it. Isn't that so sad?
Really?
Uh,
That's so cool.
It was.
Wait,
but
they
then
got
it
canceled because of
didn't
all this stuff?
happen. They didn't move it to video. I'm sure they'll reschedule it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a thing that comes through Chicago every couple years, and oh, it's just like I walk through my dining room and I'm like, oh, can you believe it?
Sad.
is
That's
so
so
cool.
sad.
I didn't realize what time it was, so I gotta jump off. But
Okay,
this
thanks,
was fun.
thanks everybody.
Nice
Thanks
meeting
for
you.
being here.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
We'll see you again. Take it easy. Stay safe. Stay clean.
Wash your hands.
Wear your thongs.
No. Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.